It was just another evening in New York City, a city known for its hustle, its glamour, and the constant whirl of luxury. But on this particular night, Donald Trump, a name that echoes through the corridors of politics and business, wanted something different. He wasn't looking for attention, he wasn't looking for an audience. He was looking for a quiet dinner away from the chaos. So he slipped into one of the city's most exclusive restaurants, hoping to blend in. But this time, Trump wasn't there to make headlines. No speeches, no cameras, no grandeur, just a man sitting at a table enjoying his meal in peace. Dressed casually, he was determined to escape the constant spotlight, even if just for an evening. But what Trump didn't anticipate was that in this moment of simplicity, he would become a symbol of something much bigger, a lesson in humility, respect, and the consequences of underestimating someone based on appearance. As Trump settled into his seat, the waiter, a young man who'd clearly had a long shift, approached the table. He glanced at Trump, but his eyes didn't widen with recognition. To him, Trump was just another rich man, just another customer. And that's when the first words came, sarcastic, dismissive, and all too familiar. "You know," the waiter said, "people like you always want special treatment. It's no surprise, really." At that moment, something extraordinary happened. Donald Trump, the man who had been in the public eye for decades, the man who had faced countless challenges and triumphs, didn't snap back. He didn't retaliate. He simply smiled, nodded, and said, "I'll take the usual, please." Most would have been offended, most would have reacted. But Trump, in his own quiet way, chose not to confront the waiter. He sat there, calm, unaffected. The waiter walked away, still unaware of the storm brewing underneath the surface. What he didn't know was that the man he'd just insulted was, in fact, the very owner of the restaurant, the very man whose name was etched on the walls of that luxurious establishment. Don't forget to like and follow for more stories like this. The waiter's casual dismissal wasn't just a sign of ignorance, it was a sign of a deeper misunderstanding, one that often plagues those who live in a bubble of assumptions and stereotypes. He had no idea who Trump was. He didn't know that he was standing face to face with someone who had built an empire, someone whose decisions influenced the course of the nation. But that didn't matter to Trump. He chose to stay silent. As the waiter entered the kitchen, he couldn't help but mutter under his breath about the arrogant customer, but his words would soon come back to haunt him. You see, this wasn't just any ordinary diner. This wasn't just any regular night. As the waiter went about his business, the restaurant's management received an urgent phone call. The man sitting at that corner table wasn't just another rich guy. He was Donald Trump, the owner of the very restaurant the waiter worked in. The manager, realizing the gravity of the situation, immediately rushed to the table. His hands were trembling, his words stuttering as he apologized profusely for the waiter's behavior. But Trump, ever the strategist, remained calm. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't scold the waiter. He simply looked at the manager, offering one simple piece of advice. "It's all right. Just remind your staff to treat everyone with respect." And with that, he left. No drama, no confrontation, just a quiet exit. The next day, the story spread throughout the restaurant. The waiter, still oblivious to his mistake, was called into a meeting with management. He was reprimanded for his disrespectful behavior, but the true impact of his actions didn't hit him until later. When he was told the truth, that the man he'd insulted was, in fact, the restaurant's owner, the reality set in. He had disrespected the very person who had made his job possible, the very person who had helped create the environment he worked in. It wasn't just about the mistake, it was about the lesson, a lesson in humility, in understanding, and in the power of silence. Trump, in his own way, had taught the waiter something far more valuable than any confrontation ever could. He had shown him that respect isn't given based on wealth, fame, or status. It's given because every person deserves it, regardless of who they are or where they come from. And this, my friends, is the true essence of leadership. It's not about power. It's not about ego. It's not about being the loudest in the room. True leadership is about humility, the ability to lead by example, and the courage to stay silent when others expect you to speak out. The waiter learned his lesson that day. He learned that no one is above respect, and that assumptions can often be the most dangerous thing we hold on to. And as for Trump, well, he didn't need to say a word to make an impact. His actions spoke volumes. This story isn't just about one man and one moment. It's about how we treat others, how we respect those around us, and how we can all learn something from moments of silence, humility, and grace. Don't forget to like and follow for more stories like this.